The Shadow in the Attic. It was a stormy night when Emily moved into her late grandmother's old Victorian house. The creaking wooden floors and flickering candles gave the house an eerie atmosphere. But Emily, intrigued by family history, was determined to uncover its secrets. As Emily unpacked, she stumbled upon an old, dust-covered journal belonging to her grandmother. Inside, there were scattered entries about strange occurrences in the house, whispers in empty rooms, footsteps in the attic, and a shadow that didn't belong to any person. One entry stood out. The shadow in the attic is not mine. It watches. It waits. Shivers ran down Emily's spine. But she dismissed the words as the ramblings of an elderly woman. That was until she heard the first noise, a faint scratching coming from above. She froze, her heart pounding. She glanced at the attic door in the hallway, which was slightly ajar, though she was certain it had been closed before. Curiosity got the better of her. Grabbing a flashlight, she climbed the creaky stairs to the attic. The air grew colder with each step, and the smell of mildew filled her nostrils. As she pushed open the attic door, her flashlight illuminated the space, dusty furniture, cobwebbed trunks, and an old rocking chair that creaked as though someone had just left it. But there was no one there. She turned to leave when she noticed a faint shadow on the wall. Shadow that shouldn't exist, because nothing stood in its way. It moved slightly, as if acknowledging her presence. Emily's breath hitched. "Hello," she whispered, her voice trembling. The shadow didn't respond, but the air grew heavier, and she felt an overwhelming urge to leave. She rushed downstairs, locking the attic door behind her. That night, sleep eluded her as the sounds of footsteps echoed from above. The next morning, Emily decided to investigate the house further. In the basement, she found an old wooden chest. Inside were faded photographs of her grandmother as a young woman, always standing next to a man with hollow, piercing eyes. On the back of one photo was written, "Edward, the shadow that follows me." Emily's blood ran cold. Who was Edward, and why did her grandmother describe him as a shadow? As the days went by, the shadow became bolder. It would appear in mirrors, linger in dark corners, and even whisper her name at night. Emily tried to ignore it, but its presence grew stronger. One evening, as she prepared to leave the house for good, the attic door slammed open on its own. Against her better judgment, she climbed the stairs one last time. This time, the shadow stood fully formed, a tall, dark figure with glowing red eyes. "You can't leave," it said in a voice that was both a whisper and a roar. "You are part of this house now." Emily screamed, running down the stairs. But the front door wouldn't budge. The windows wouldn't shatter. The house had trapped her. Now, if you ever visit the old Victorian house,